Using Procreate Dreams, I created this fire-breathing dragon animation, and I'm really excited to share it with you. Sit back, relax, and let's get into the video. Today's theme is dragons, because dragons are super cool. I've always been a fan of dragons, and I've been drawing them since I was a kid. Unfortunately, my whole catalog of dragon drawings were thrown in the trash by a bitter parent who thought, oh, I didn't know you wanted that. But, you know, whatever. I'm going to rebuild my catalog of dragons. I've lived long enough in the sadness of that reality to give myself the opportunity to fix what's been wronged. We're going to bring dragons back the cozy T way, and we're going to make them breathe fire using Procreate Dreams. So the sketch is a sketch. It turned into a drawing. I did a bold outline with the technical pen, and then we just put that into Procreate Dreams like we've done before. We're going to start talking about the animation now. I start this off by doing it simple, frame by frame animation, get the whole cycle of the flame coming out of the dragon's mouth. And then at that point, I'm going to utilize some of Procreate Dreams' other resources to streamline the process, so I'm not drawing every single frame to the fullest extent and, saving a little bit of time, because there's nothing wrong with that. Once I group them all together by clicking the little movie icon and then selecting group in that little menu that pops up, all I have to do now is select the frame within the timeline and then tap on the screen to actually select it in the canvas. Once I do that, I can actually hit the record button and drag out the fire so that it looks like it's growing. And this creates that motion without having to go through all those extra steps. In addition to this, I wanted to add a little bit of extra color to the fire. So I took that same group and I copied it into another track, and then I minimized the size of that. And then I changed the color to yellow using the hue, saturation, and brightness option to add the extra color to the fire. After this, I decided the animation was kind of stale, so I wanted to add a couple extra elements to spice it up just a little bit. So I duplicated my dragon layer, and then I erased the original tail from the actual base drawing of the dragon. And then I went to the duplicate of that layer, erased the whole dragon from that part so that the tail is the only thing that's left in that part of the timeline. I take that part of the timeline, I hit the movie icon, and then I select warp, and then I click on the record button. From here, I just take my Apple Pencil and I slightly wiggle the tail just a little bit to create a little bit of motion. So I didn't just move the tail, but I also decided to move the wings. So I did the same thing I did for the tail, and then I took that part of the timeline for the wings and hitting the movie icon, selecting warp, hitting record, and then moving those wings ever so slightly up and down just to add a little bit more movement to the image. For the final portion of this, I wanted to add some elemental aspects. I wanted to add clouds, and I wanted to do this to the foreground and the background to add some depth so it looks like there's a little bit more than just a flat image happening here. What I did was I drew a layer of clouds, put it in front of everything and then behind everything on the timeline. And then once I had those set, I just selected the clouds on the screen, hit the record icon, and I dragged them with my pencil across until they were across the screen towards the end of the animation. And then I did the same thing with the clouds in the background, and I had them going opposing directions, so it just looked a little bit more dynamic. At least that's what it looked like to me. I added a bird in the background as well, and then at the very end here, I do add a planet moving in the background too, just to add an extra spice of why not, because at Cozy T, we always take it that extra level. I am stoked on this animation. All right, with all that said, I'm gonna play the video twice, as always, for the front and the back, because everybody's included at Cozy T. This is gonna be really sick. I'm super excited for you to see this. So sit back, relax, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay cozy. Peace.